Hi students, this is Dr. Miller. I want to say a few things about our writing assignment. First, if you'll look over here on the tabs, you'll see is a special tab called Writing Assignment. So if we click on that, we will see, you may hear my corgi in the background there, pay no attention. This is the overview, and one of the things that I want you to understand is this writing assignment has a real purpose in terms of making you better photographers. Because what you're going to do is you're going to select a photographer and you're going to learn about them, and then you're going to write, but the writing is going to be about how that particular photographer is impacting you. It's not a biography, it's not a typical essay, research kind of thing. It's about you and the photographer you choose. So we've got some dates here, and the first date is I want you to select a photographer by February 24th, and there'll be a discussion, and you will create a thread, and you will put in your photographer and just a brief statement about why you think this photographer will be beneficial to you as a photographer. Then you can get into it a little bit, and the final essay is due on March 17th. So let's look at the overview here. So this is the overview, and first off, this is not a big essay. It's 750 words, and I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. But you're going to use a search mechanism like Google to find a photographer that is of interest to you. So you can search on like famous American sports photographers or famous photographers from Alabama or something like that. Now this link right here will take you to a Wikipedia page that has American photographers, and in fact it has photographers from all over the world, but this section right here is about American photographers. I kind of prefer that you select an American photographer just to make it a little more simple. So for example, here is Ansel Adams, and you may have heard of this very well-known American landscape photographer who was extremely influential. And this is a bunch of information, and there are a few of his photographs, but you'd really want to look a little more carefully, and there's just so much stuff about Ansel Adams that it's ridiculous. So if you go back to this big list here, and you can, I know you can come up with somebody, but if you have a particular type of photographer that you think would be of interest, then you should probably search by that type of photographer. So when you have selected a photographer, then you're going to start doing some research. Because really what you're going to do is you're going to write about them, and then you're also going to include 3, probably 5 at most images that are taken by that photographer, and you're going to paste them into your document. So for this assignment, you really want to select, most important, a photographer that sort of speaks to you and resonates with you. So if you do that, it's going to be more meaningful. This is not the biography of that photographer. You can put a few words in there about so-and-so as a photographer from Chicago who specialized in this kind of thing, and they were prominent during this time, and their career featured many magazine photographs or exhibits in museums, things like that. Don't go too far on that, because what you really want to do is how as learning about this photographer and looking at this photographer's works. How is this inspiring you or impacting you to be a better photographer? So when you see a portrait like this, or when you see this landscape over here of Yosemite, how does that make you want to take a better photograph? So this is what the essay is about, and it's not a big deal. Now, I do want to tell you that this has to be really written by yourself. 750 words is not a big deal, but I do run it through the Safe Assign in Blackboard, and it will determine if you've copied and pasted other people's words. If you have a quote or two, that's fine, but don't just rip off somebody else's words and paste them in there and think you're going to get away with it. You will not. So when you've created your document, you can use Word, you can use Google Docs, but you will save it as a PDF and then submit it. So what is 750 words? So this is Word, and I've got my type up here. Really, it's 12-point type. So this is what it looks like. It's one page, and it's a page and a half. That's not that much. So that is the writing assignment. I think you will actually enjoy it. You will benefit by it. And if you have any questions, just let me know.